Australia in the house. Oh, this is awesome. I was so hoping you would be here. This is fantastic. At least one Aussie. Ruru. Hey. Hi, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, and all the orchid lovers over here. It's so good to have you. My goodness. Anita. Hey. Welcome. I was just showing my new toy in the minutes leading up to the actual live as such. So I thought, you know what? I've got a whiteboard. If I ever lose my voice, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. If I ever lose my voice, we are set. I've got a whiteboard. However, I have to practice my drawing skills with that little mouse and whatever fun it can do. And if I ever want to show something that I can't quite explain, also, you know, I've got my little whiteboard up and running. We are going somewhere. We're going places with these lives. I don't know. I am hoping. I'm really hoping. Maybe I'm just all gaga about it and people are going, yawn. Let's just wait and see what happens with this. You know, it could just tank. But for the time being, we are here. Yes, Anita. Texas was my home for 3 years, so I'm quite familiar with it. I used to be in Dallas and I worked in Richardson. So there you go. You're having a bit of a cold spell, I gather. Anywho, right. As I'm going to lead up into my review of a video, I was wondering if anybody else would be so interested to see what the patio looked like in 2020. That's what we're going to do tonight, unless somebody says, knock, knock, please, I would like to come on panel and I would like to talk to you or everybody else that is here in the Zimmer in the room tonight. This morning or late afternoon, wherever you are. Rayanne Reese, hello, welcome. Raising up the hands, woohoo, waving, jumping up and down. It's good to have you. Thank you for making it. So yeah, anybody wants to come up and talk, I stop exactly what I'm doing at that point in time. I am watching the chat on YouTube side and on the stream side. And tonight, once again, I do have like a 12 to 15 second lag, I would say. So sometimes if you hear dead air, it could be because I'm waiting for a reply from maybe something that I see in chat. I like to share my dinard with you, Michael. It is what I do here. I share blooms. It's become a staple. Yeah. So I've been watching some, not all, but you know, not the whole lives, but I've been watching back some of my own lives, listening to see if the volume and things were adding up and matching. And I'm thinking, why are we staring at something? I'm making the same mistakes as in my early videos. Why are we staring at something and nothing is really happening that is pretty appealing or visually stimulating? So yeah, a little bit more practice. And here we are. I've got something else to show you. This is in actual fact a video that I did previously. And all I've done is turn the volume down and we've got blooms. And I've got a whole gaggle of B-roll ready and waiting for these lives, even with wind. You know, there's a breeze. This is not an image. So I would like to at least vamp up a little bit what we are seeing on the screen. And I hope I can do that without getting, you know, having my dyslexia take over and show the wrong thing and then, oops, embarrassed. But yes. Okay. I am indeed on a Mac. Yeah, I don't mind having a PC. It just so happens once you start with one gizmo of Apple, then it's almost like you're caught. And I've been an Apple baby since, I don't remember. iPhone 4? Yeah, I love a proper Windows though as well. So the thing is that, you know, they just don't talk to each other so well. But anywho, I forgot to do something yesterday. After I shut down, I thought, no, I had a tab open. I wanted to show you. Do you have any questions, Joshi? Because you can ask any question. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, okay? Because if you have any questions about, is there some compatibility problem at your end? I want to know. Julie, look at you, Orchid Ninja. You've got your Phylogeny Lime Bay. Woohoo! Okay, so while I wait for Joshi, I'm going to pull up an article I wanted to show you. I'm going to show you something that Roby Robinson sent me yesterday, and I wanted to address that with all of you. And I want to know, feedback-wise, maybe Roby will eventually see this, or I'll point her in the direction with a timestamp. Oh, yes. Well, you're young, Joshi. I would edit on my phone and on the iPad, but you are young because, you know, my eyes, I need things in my face. Sometimes I even have to take images of my orchids because I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking at, and then see it on a big screen, whether to confirm a pest or whatever. Yeah, my eyes are really, really bad. So I need the big stuff, and that's why I hardly do Instagram if I'm not on the big screen. I just cannot. And then, you know, sometimes autocorrect is a little bit awkward as well. You get the wildest words that are maybe not quite PC. Anyway. Yeah, Japanese people have fantastic genes. It's all that green tea. If I drink too much green tea now, though, I am going through the roof from the basement. I just go like, you know, the little squirrel in Over the Hedge. That movie, I don't know if anybody knows that movie, but that squirrel, when he gets an energy drink and he's all over the place, that's me. I can't do green tea anymore. Used to be my staple. Okay. I want to show you an article and get your feedback and see, let's do that again, what you think if you're hearing something similar happening at your end. Let's see. Okay. That's the title. Anybody that isn't a Phalaenopsis lover, I think by now you're probably having a party. You're probably happy. The era of cheap orchids could soon be over. Excuse me, I need some ice water here. No, it's not gin tonic. I do not have a tipple and stream. So that, for any orchid lover of Phalaenopsis, should be alarming. The reason being that the energy costs have now taken a hit on the mass producers of the big nurseries in the Netherlands. So this is an article that if I will link in the stream once in the description, once we finish here. See, yes, I know. Yeah. So Julie, imagine if we get to this point here. The author of the article, something Wong, James Wong, yes. The author of the article went on a visit to one of these mass producers. He was invited and he was excited. And he said, do you want to see, the person who invited him said, do you want to see a room of 2 million orchids? You should take pictures, as after this winter, this will only be seen in the history books. So this is a mass producer that is in dire straits, and he is shutting his operations down. There's another thing that I felt so saddened about when I read this article. A good 10-minute walk through abandoned corridors, the author of the article stepped into a misty room, easily double the size of the baggage claim halls of most international airports, double the size, where tables of closely crammed plants sat in full dazzling flower. And then this breaks my heart. This is just where I experimented making new cultivars. It's all going to be binned soon. Take what you want. It's difficult to visualize quite how many 2 million plants really is by walking through room after room. And when we, not me, but there's some people that are, these phals don't speak to everybody. When we walk by and check the prices, let me see, here it is. Let me look. The recent spike in energy prices have had a debilitating effect on the grower, as heating these enormous landscapes to subtropical levels was one of the business's key costs. It's a phenomenon that apparently has not only affected this supplier. So it's not only this guy. Yes, me too, Danya. Me too. Some industry insiders are predicting as many as half of such growers may no longer be trading by the end of winter. Ruby! Ruby, look! I mentioned you as the provider of this information. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. So, here we have it. It's not just this one person. They may no longer be half may no longer be trading by the end of winter. Here we go. We are selling plants for €1 that are now costing 5 to make. And he says it's a disaster. And I'm just going to mute for a moment and scroll up a little bit for you to continue reading, because if my daughter walks into the door, then I don't want you to have the dogs barking in the background, because that's pretty obnoxious. Okay, so I scrolled up a little bit. I hope I didn't take somebody's reading away. I'm sorry about that. It's usually around this time my daughter comes home. She knows that I'm live. There is an overlap, and if I at the beginning have to go on mute for a little bit, I will do that. I hope by that time we're in the video. Anyway, I wanted to bring this to your attention because I would be super interested if Amina, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Good to have you. Woohoo! So if anybody has had similar information thrown at them, have heard about it, I want to scroll back up into the comments where Michael said he's not surprised that the Hawaii orchid prices remain so low given the property value there. He is surprised. Huh. Yeah. I don't know. These are family operated businesses in Hawaii, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. Never been there. It's a bucket list of mine that's just not going to ever be fulfilled. But probably because the land has been owned for so long amongst the generations of the family that operate the nurseries. I don't know, Michael. Do you think that could be an option as to why they can still do what they do? I don't know. It's just a thought. Anyway, the day before this article was dropped in my email by Roby, I was actually thinking while I was fussing around with my orchids, I was thinking, look, if I can't afford to switch the lights on at my home, how are these guys coping in the Netherlands? It was so strange, 24 hours before this. And I thought, well, they're so rich, they probably don't care. And then, boom, this hit. Now, that may make Matt by Nature very, very happy. Rightio. Anyway, so I just want replay. Leave it in the comments. Have you heard anything along those lines where you're at? And if I've just kept repeating myself, I was just looking at my frame rate and why is it doing what it's doing. Anyway, so we're going to stop sharing. I can close this tab. Maybe I have too many tabs open and it's taxing the system. So I'm going to just, for the time being, reduce my beautiful background. And I'm going to pull up. Yeah, I've got far too many things open. I want it to be professional and ready for you. You know how it's done. Listen to me like I'm OG at this, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, now on to, let me just check. Oh yeah, most of them have been around a while, so they own, okay. 20 years. Wow. Okay. Righty-ho. Well, Danya, keep your ears to the ground. If you hear any treading, like Jumanji kind of threatening sounds coming to the Phalaenopsis that are still around, maybe you might want to grab yourself a few. Alrighty-ho. Okay, we're going to check out the Orchid Ninja Real Estate, the first video of the patio as a tour, and we're going to have a little look-see as to what went on back in the day. Let me make sure I pick the right tab, make sure that I don't have any nonsense here that could shut the stream down. Okay, that is me. There we go. It is that beautiful classical thumbnail as well. Now, I've had some feedback that when I talk over the video, when it is on its normal volume, everything is far too loud. So I reduced the video on a replay, talked over it, and then nobody could really hear what the original video was about. So I'm going to try and make sure that I keep my volume levels adjusted accordingly, or I just don't talk over myself. Isn't this bizarre? I'm the one talking, but I'm talking over the person talking, which is me. I love it. I just love it. My mind just cannot comprehend this. But anyway, whoops, let's go this way. Local nurseries. Okay. Oh, well, if they're hiring an almost 60-year-old woman, Julie, let me know. I'll be there in a heartbeat. Okay. We'll just turn it down a little bit. It's like, ouch. Ooh, to the left, to the left, to the left. Twiga. Oh, wow. Okay, this video was in April of 2020. And this April, I could not put my orchids outside. And here is my grow space empty. I told you I had a rubbish spring. Twiga to the left. There you go. Right. I thought I was going. And here, the Phalaenopsis right here, that's Bubblicious. She was new back then. And up here is Hot Kiss, which I haven't seen bloom because she didn't get enough light. And there is Sweetheart. And we've got Gulf Green Hair Pig in bloom over here. Okay, I'm just checking my timing here. April. And then we have Melissa Brienne Dark right here. That's right. It was lockdown. And my channel had its first video on the 4th of April, together with what William Green did with his Global Orchid Society, Global Virtual Orchid, that thing, GVSOS, Global Virtual Orchid Society. Anyway, yeah, on the 4th of April. So yeah, let's have a look around. I've got the rack, I've got everything. At this point in time, I was still using lights. To give some more insight into the orchid real estate and where I grow depending on the seasons. So what you're seeing now is the spring. That is Jasmine. Oops.
which is completely...
That is jasmine at the far end, and dangling down here is a Mysticidi, which I think I lost because I was trying to do something very different with it, and it objected. Danya, you're an OG. Thank you so much. How could you put up with this? There is such lackluster in my voice. I have to laugh at myself. But then I'm thinking, this is not good to laugh because people were actually watching this and supporting this. So I wouldn't want to be making fun of people that were watching this. But I can't cringe at this because if I were cringing, then I should never have put it out. It's just the way it was back then. But my voice sounds so like nasal. I'm coming out from, it's like I'm struggling to tell you about this. Oh, look at Coriantha guatemalensis back here. Look at her. She's a baby there. How cute. That is amazing. All the slippers are down here. All this is still okay. Yeah. Looks familiar.
Taken over by orchids. So...
Oh, we have a bag baby there.
Just to give you an idea that...
Is the volume of the video replay good? Can you hear it, or should I raise it up a bit more? I'll wait that 15 seconds. Thank you, Julie. Fantastic. I've got the green light. We'll go.
I have full spectrum up there, shop panel lights, the white panels, for anything that might be in bloom during the winter and doesn't need the extra push.
I was trying to fight for the words.
And blue lights. And on this shelf here on the left,
and I don't like that,
is where all my 15-inch pots.
I don't like the... I don't like that sound. Sorry if that just was nasty in your ear. I hate the mouth clicks. It bugs me so much. I have improved so much on my articulation to make sure I don't do that. I never heard that in myself until I did videos. Check this out. Centimeters. I made a mistake here. So I just put centimeters, but referring to what? Because I said inches. Oh my goodness.
Pots go that fit 2 rows along this entire shelf.
Oh.
The little speckles of dirt that you see on there, something is enjoying a part of my orchids.
Yeah, housekeeping didn't come.
What it is.
Those were caterpillars. Turns out that's caterpillar poop, and of course, in a home that never actually really had orchids of this magnitude, I've never seen caterpillars. So I was watching to see the orchid I was putting there and to see the change from day to day, from night to day, and it was caterpillars.
But I know which plants stand where, so
I still do that.
Them. At this moment, I don't see anything.
Right, because
I'm very wary of this caterpillar moth larvae situation.
Yes, and
that I've been struggling with.
Indeed.
And most of my 15-inch dendrobiums are on this shelf. So.
You can tell. Look, I left the States in 2017, but I do flip between, yards, meters, miles, kilometers. I flip in my mind. I have to be, it is a conscious effort for me to stick to one throughout the entire video. I've learned that also since doing videos. So I'm like centimeters woman. Anyway, oh, Babalicious is gorgeous. She never bloomed again like this for me.
So yeah, when I saw that, my eyes just went okay. I haven't cleaned them up yet because I want to compare the pots and see what's going on in those pots.
Yes. Okay.
With the speckles and droppings I see here.
We get the point.
Looks very much like
enough of the poop.
Caterpillar. You will hear my dog in the background. My baby's scratching a little bit because I'm stood on the other side of a barrier. This is an area the dogs
Oh my goodness,
get.
back in the day. Oh, hang on. Gone. Go away. Get out of here. Sorry, guys. Sorry. This is unfortunate that these bots come in. I hate them. And at least on the YouTube side, I am able to be I've got the strictest policies with regards to comments that YouTube allows. And since their recent revamp, the first time I'm actually getting these bots that comment in the comment section, and they never appeared in the older version. So I'm sorry about that. I hope that only happened this one time. Michael, you have a wrench, you're blue. You can also hide any messages like that or block. If you hit the 3 little buttons to the right, you have the power with that wrench to block. Just be careful who you block. We don't want any of this funky business going on. Our normal orchid aficionados, we want them in the chat. Okay, right. Where were we? I feel like a chameleon. Thank you, Michael. I'm sorry. I don't want to sound presumptuous. Honestly, I don't. I don't know how much experience anybody has with all of this. I've been mainly I've been a chatterling. I have never been actually a streamer. So I just want to make sure that I don't want people to think, you know, that, well, anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. Sorry. Okay. Enough
right,
of the food.
and then there's beautiful Phalaenopsis, but more about that some other time.
Oh dear. Thank you, Michael.
There's a middle rack, and I hope the light right now allows you to see what this is about. There's a middle rack, like most of us orchid growers have.
Yes, it's called a baking rack.
And
I
each
learned
rack,
that
each
recently.
level has the blurple lights.
Yes.
And to be honest, I don't mind them.
Yikes.
I know that people don't like them. I don't mind them. Because I know that they're for growth.
I actually bought myself blurple light glasses. Yes. Oh, and the distortions you see here, please, you know, that is not the quality or the lack thereof of the stream. That is in the video. Yes. And Phylogeny Lime Bay still lives up here for now, even to this day. By the way, she is growing a second growth, and the first spike that, well, of that other growth is still going. I haven't been able to film her, but the second growth is now on the way. It could be that I have 2 coinciding spikes at the same time that are still relatively immature. Amazing
growth, and that's what I want.
Thank you, Julie.
In some of the colder days when I can't have them outside. You know, I don't want to skip a day of growth, so my growing
that's changed.
Mainly.
Oh, what is that sorry looking thing over here? Who are you? Oh, I think I know who she is. She is the first corner survey, but I think her name was Norton. Thank you, Michael, for that clarification. Yeah, although I never used them, and then I walked away and everything was green. I didn't need them. It didn't bother me. But talk about walking away and then, you know, directing your gaze at something else, like whatever you're looking at, a couch, everything is green. It's like, hello. I felt like the Incredible Hulk from the inside. The kryptonite was inside of me. Anyway, yes, this sorry little thing right here. Oh, baby. She was the corner survey. If I'm not mistaken, she was the first corner survey I had, but the name is Norton. If that sounds familiar, I am digging deep into my orchid lost memory bank. Yeah, from Schwerter. Moving on.
Also, the ones that need to be established grow here. Mr. Hairy Green Pig is here still because I love the fragrance when I come down in the morning.
That's wrong. It's hair
in the living room area.
Hair,
absolutely
not hairy.
Gorgeous.
Yes, he's delicious.
So
still, he's
that's
got a
the
sheath
middle shelf.
Today.
Then slowly.
See all that jasmine over there?
All the rendering problems I'm having.
By that time,
let me pan you over to the right side.
And here we've got Schilleriana, who is right now in spike as well. And then baby here, this is the unicorn. This was my daughter's favorite Phalaenopsis. And I lost her. Yes, I did. And I didn't know until I thought I'd done something wrong with my misting. And she turned out to have scale. I had no idea that scale would be a problem. And I thought the stem rot was because of misting until one day she had enough leaves, and then we took her apart in a video and It was history. I couldn't save her, even though she was that strong. What a pretty, pretty little fowl. Love her.
Which also has some shelves where I leave
all the humidity trays are gone now.
Highlight growing fowls, the complex hybrids.
Yeah,
so
she's
this is
gorgeous.
Where they live
she's gorgeous.
They don't require all that extra light.
But they would
and
prefer
they're quite fine.
Yes.
With some of the conditions that
I know, Michael.
Here.
Cartwheels around the grow space.
Well, again, they're on my little rack that you just saw.
Yeah, the unicorn is gorgeous.
So,
moving on. Jump cut.
Towards
That
the
hurt.
terrace door.
Oh, by
Here
the way,
on the right, you can see that I still.
I'm not going to reverse because I don't want to waste your time. But there was like a croton or whatever thing with a palm tree that is in self-watering as well. That was part of the arrangement that when I got the Maximilian Phalaenopsis with little Maxi Phalaenopsis, the two white ones that I have, that was in a big basket as an arrangement, and the palm tree and the croton was in that, and they are doing fantastic in self-watering as well.
Still have heat mats, but they are not in use.
I see, I spy with my little eye an orchid that's not with us anymore.
For cost reasons.
Oh, I already started cutting back
away
then.
Because if I spill, because I'm spraying daily onto
little
these
Maxi
guys
is
that
in
are
blue,
over here.
Right, up here. I wonder if I should let her bloom this time around. Yeah, and that thing with the heat mat still applies. They're here, I don't use them, but they help me from not spilling.
If I spill anything
yeah.
or droplets, the heat mat creates a good barrier for whatever I have
placed
down below.
Just say it as it is, woman.
And this would be the section that I keep all my bebés at during the winter. Because
well, looky there. Osteocladus spathulifera with more leaves. The other time I said in a video, I never get the leaves to hold on. So now I have to look at this and say, that's not true. Okay. Oh, gosh, here, Black Eagle. Ouch. We got a little bit too toasty there. And Lundii, isn't she cute? Oh, she's so small. She's now spilling out over the pot. Who are you? Oh, yeah, oh, the shame. Keep your fingers crossed for my Laelia crispa. I think that's the crispa. You sent me pictures, Michael. I'm waiting to do a video about her. Promise. I still got your images, but I have to make sure that I've got something to show. Not looking good. Looks much better there than she does now.
Right by the open terrace door.
Yeah, you could have cleaned up, please.
A lot of light.
What are you doing here, showing a dusty heat mat? Are you for real? You got no shame, woman.
And they get a lot of fresh air as well.
This is awkward.
That would be that rack.
Mortifying.
And down here, I keep whatever is needed
yes.
have my attention.
That's still the case. That shelf is still, well, you know, we've raised it up a little bit, but yeah, that's the shelves where I need to really pay attention. However, I'm looking at the dirt. I am so embarrassed and so sorry. This is a shambles. This is unacceptable. Oh dear, awkward. Yes. Anyway, that Gasteria is still with me as well. It's not doing so well. I am so bad at Gasteria haworthia succulents, cactus. Forget them. I just can't. Terrible.
That doesn't need bright light, is struggling, or on the verge out the door, which currently...
The commentary.
There are a few.
Oh, here!
I'm trying a propagation method with a Fias.
The first attempt with an old bulb.
There's a bulbophyllum back there.
Nah, she's okay.
But
I thought it was the Medusa, but
this would be the shelf that needs attention on a daily basis.
Elizabeth Ann Buckleberry.
Because it may just be out.
Not one of my favorites, to be honest. We have... Ow!
Then when you look... Now I have that shelf to the back of me, where I keep my seedlings, etc. And then I look through what I consider my Vanda
Hello, Lime Bay.
Because I have a rod all the way across the room up there.
Still the same.
That is an air conditioner heater. I never use that.
Still not use that.
And then I have another little
Thank you. Please do,
shelf,
Michael.
Which is very pretty if it were used correctly. but it has been moved
True.
into this location for more orchids, as you do.
Indeed.
Much to the chagrin of some, but it works.
Ooh,
So this
here, Mona Chica, the OG. Yeah, I lost her. Just stem rot. No scale. This was stem rot. I still can't wrap my head around that one. And I do believe, what are we seeing in the back here? Oh, maybe I'll figure that one out. That isn't Orange Nugget. No, she was prettier than that before I messed her up.
is basically where I keep highlight orchids.
Honest.
Don't mind being behind glass and getting
Oh,
hotter.
wait, hang on a
Even
second, Michael. Wait, we will scrub back. We will scrub back. Can we scrub? No, that's it. This right here, that is my jumbo. No, that is my Jack of Diamonds, Fred Clacchiara. And this is Jumbo Mickey, which I don't have anymore. Here, down here, the two little leaves, I believe that is, oh, there we go. Yes. That is the OG Ancelia. I lost, which one did I lose? Danya, I'm not sure which orchid you're referring to. I'm talking too fast, maybe. I lost the Jumbo Mickey, the Cycnodus Jumbo Mickey this year. Yes, completely. Botched that up. Totally. Terrible. Unforgivable. What a mistake. But yes, that is my Ancelia. Oh, you should see her now. I am sure she's going to bloom for us next year. That thing has just gone bonkers in that pot after we did the repot. That was the start. And I was thinking, can I even grow Ancelias? Yes, I did. I did get another Mona Chica and she is doing great. And I'm hoping to keep it that way because I don't want to have a Mona Chica that does well, blooms, and then dies. Because that's what my first Mona Chica did. 2 bloom cycles, stem rot.
As you do. Much to the chagrin of some, but it works.
Ah, that could be
so
Laelia.
This is basically where I keep highlight orchids.
That is Laelia
don't
Zip.
mind being behind glass
Down
and
there.
Getting hotter. Even if the outside temperatures
Still applies.
are cooler,
Here we've got Francis
this area
Fox.
gives me quite some heat.
Did I
during the
mention
winter
that
months.
Francis Fox blasted her buds?
And also now,
You think in a recent
spring,
video, right?
this is where I have the ones I don't want to move because they're about to bloom,
Uh-huh.
even though it's only one bud that is looking good.
Yeah.
Another video about that. So I don't
Okay.
dare move them outside with all the others where they
And this
should
is
be.
April. And this is April. And it was like I was questioning myself. I was questioning myself this April. I thought I was losing my mind. Yeah, thank you. That's where I did mention it. Yeah. I thought I was losing my mind and I thought I'm just exaggerating because I'm such a, primrose pansy about the cold. This is April. Everybody's outside. And then we've got Francis Fox in bloom, and she was in bloom also this year, early. It was a rubbish bloom, of course, no light, and everybody's outside, but these didn't get moved because, come on.
Because I don't want any bud
Goodbye,
blast.
2022.
And the same with my Mona Chica here.
Yeah.
The only reason she is still inside is because of that spike.
Mm-hmm. She
So
bloomed
highlight,
nicely and then
but
took a hike.
either budding out or having problems, not wanting to expose them to outside conditions just yet, they're here. As you can see, my catasetums are down here as well.
That was okay. Oh,
Then,
hello.
as
Why don't you clean up your background? What is wrong with you? Have you no respect? Oh, look at my stools here. They were still here. Oh, gosh. Even now, orchids are on the floor there. Oh, Scusi, you see that white thing there? That used to be my desk. It is now folded up in the spare room. Yes.
Progresses, and this shelf empties because now I've got most of them outside.
Hello,
I move
Iona.
forward
Isn't
all
that
the
cute? One bloom. And since then we've had our three stooges, and then we've had our little, dastardly duo. She's doing great. She looks amazing. Who do we have here? I don't see giraffe. Okay, thank you. I
Phalaenopsis
don't
that
want
are
to
on
have
the
any
top
kind
shelf
of
you saw previously.
bad feelings. Just watch
And
giraffe
start
appear
putting
just
them
now.
into
There
the
she
middle
is.
here.
There's giraffe. Okay. Violins in the chat for giraffe. I'm having a sad. I'm having a sad. Anyway, moving on.
My summer bloomers will live outside.
I wonder if
but
the
we've
music
had
was
some
too loud
very
back then.
nasty nights, and that's why I
Any
brought
feedback?
these guys
Music
in
too loud?
just to be
Kind
sure.
of. I mean, I like the tune, but it's a bit annoying, isn't it? I sound like it's like I should be on a camel somewhere.
This is
See, that's when I stopped
Orchidaria
cleaning
africana.
windows.
Just a quick insert.
Thank you, Michael. I'm having a
Igna
sad.
Tropicana channel. We had a little bit of discussion because I was so impressed with her and Celia africanas doing so well in Leca and semi-hydro. I wanted to show her mine.
Yes, and I remember her, and I've never ever gotten any reply back for a care collab. I wanted her on the care collab. She even
sometimes
offered
trying to
me.
explain it isn't.
Thank you, Michael.
As showing.
And thank you, Julie.
Light access.
Julie Sun,
and,
sorry.
Where it's located.
There you go. Ooh, it's a breezy day.
Come outside onto the terrace of what is actually the dining room. I have this beautiful jasmine growing over from the neighbors, and I make sure that this hedge is absolutely trimmed, but
Well, do we need to call a welfare check on you, Michael? Anything? Yay, high five, Julie's son on no window cleaning. The orchids come first. Just want to make sure we don't need to send a welfare check. Okay.
Take out all the other plants manually, hand by hand, clip them out, because I really love the jasmine and the beautiful fragrance.
The gardener just comes and does a complete top.
And then,
if he ever shows up,
slowly, you can see at the far end.
That isn't like that anymore.
And here is where, in the winter, I normally have.
Look at that shiny new rack
during the day, and that needs a lot of light because the afternoon sun, when we have sun, is actually pounding down with the reflection.
Give us a heads up if you need help.
So I use this location for those orchids.
Listen to the sound of those birds. They're awesome.
I have another little rack if needed.
Yep, and everything
on a cloudy
is
day,
shifted.
I bring out the fowls every once in a while because they can't
don't do that anymore.
get hurt or burnt by the sun.
Ain't got no time for that. Thank you, Dania. Thank you.
And
it looks a right mess right now.
Here as well.
Big mess. You'll see it in the video on Monday.
Permitted.
Oh, look at all these vandas.
You can see my...
You guys, you've seen Chow Praya lately. Here is Chow Praya. Check this out. Look at the top of the stand right here. Chow Praya, if it was this perspective, we would have her up.
All the
excuse you. We would have her up right here by the lantern that I call Narnia's lantern. The Wicked Witch, the Witch, the Wardrobe, or something like that. That is my little portal, my gate. If I could just go to that lantern and just, yeah. Anyway, never mind. But Chow Praya is doing fabulously. Look at these tiny vandas that were doing so great while they were small. This is Leopard Yawn. This is the one that I don't have anymore, one of the first ones. Look at this root. I know, and I only have pretty much this one left. And it's not looking good either. Chow Praya is doing well. Look at Stan, still in his original little gizmo basket there. Now he's in a big basket, but still uses the stand in the winter. Rainbow Forest is so tiny, and look how clean the basket is because new. Here we have Lucneri Original, the OG, the proper one, that has now 2 more fans. And here is my little ugly duckling, Lucneri Blue. The spikes are Curly whirly again.
Hanging baskets that are able to take what is now.
Kimmy, look left. Down here. Peeking up. That's Kimmy. I hope I pan the camera down because you'll see that she is hardly reached above the cholla log.
Now in places full sun. In the winter there's no sun here. I have at least 3-4 meters of shade,
and there is no conversion up there.
These racks
no.
on the floor here into shade as well.
Who are you? This greenhopper? Yes, greenhopper. Doing much better with a garbage bag around it. Here's Kimmy. Cholla log right here. Kimmy's top is there, and we can now triple that from the height of Kimmy at the moment with 5 new growths coming out of the stems. No blooms. And here is little itty bitty, let me think. Rhinanthera citrina? It's possible that is my Rhinanthera citrina. I know, and look at the clean orchid top. Ooh, and my baskets were still intact.
Which is ideal for angraecums, etc. But now you can see it is in the afternoon sun, and I'm going to have to rethink what to do in that area.
Which we did. It is now called the Deep South. Yikes!
From the
Sun reflection, you don't do that.
To place all my Phalaenopsis on a
we
tray
still do that.
Let them be outside.
Yeah, it's a bit windy, not me. We still do that. Let me just see. We've got plenty of Tolumnias. The tray looks about the same. I know. Isn't that so cute? I forgot to mention them. I thought we were going to get closer to them, but no, they are so small and so cute. Just wait till you see them on Monday or Sunday night for you guys in the States. Look at this, and look at Cousin It. And that was his second year with me, and he was, you saw the original size he was in the large orchid top. And the Cymbidium still had space on the table, which is now inundated with Rubiculus lanius. It was Cousin Itty Bitty, not Cousin It. Giovanna, hey, welcome. It's good to have you. Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate it. This is a city bus. And remember, if anybody wants to come up, I can stop anything I'm doing, and then we can just talk randomly about your orchids, because the live streams is not for you to hear my voice, which you do a lot, but for us to hear yours and hear about your orchids. So anytime anybody wants to come up, let me know, and I will drop you a link in the comments section. Okay. That was Cousin Itty Bitty, my word. But to think I've got the Cymbidium sitting up there. And then here is the Garin Weaver right here. Amazing.
My Maxillaria variabilis lives here all year round. So does the Cymbidium, and in the middle you'll see a
I didn't even introduce him as Cousin A.
That I'm trying to push to its extremes and see what it can do, or what
it can take a lot. It can take a whole ant colony in the pot.
So that it would be interested or horrified to see what's going on there.
Ooh.
Here.
Sorry guys, I'm sorry if that came through a little bit too strong on the audio. But yeah, sorry about that with the dogs barking. I apologize. Talk about ruining the fun. Okay, let's go.
Outside my living room.
See, this is what my blooming alley should look like in April. And not scattered everywhere, getting a beating from blood rain, from the Sahara sands. Oh my goodness. Oh, hi, Happy. Sorry, I do apologize. This is what a blooming alley looks like in April. Not the rubbish from this year. But yeah, we've got Kyoguchi Happy Field there. And look at Tortilla over here, still on a mount before it got potted, and the abundance of berry odor. Wow. Ah, but the Tolumnias were not hung up yet. Mm-hmm. So it was favorable, but
terrace
not
door
ideal. Okay.
is an area
What
that I
is
have
going
closed
on with that
off.
curtain up there? Woman! What is that? Oh, okay. So then we recognized that actually the sun does come through that little archway and it was burning orchids. Okay, we've changed that now. Everything from here has shifted onto this railing. I was like, what is going on? Oh, and who's in pretty bloom up here? That looks like probably, oh, was that my Stanfordianum? Woohoo, Michael! Awesome! Party! 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 Fantastic! Oh, okay. My Stanfordianum. That could be my Stanfordianum, which is recovering
I put
fabulously.
another shelf
Yes,
in
it is
here. There's a
Stanfordianum.
small shelf down there. A little plant stand over there.
Still the same, but much more rustier.
Over here.
Oh,
To
super
increase
rusty
a
by
little
now.
bit of this ideal orchid real estate.
Oh, gosh. Wait, what is going on here? Oh, my word. Okay, so Fios, all right. I used to do that and still do that if need be. But look at all these shiny stands. Well, let's just say now they look a little bit more like they blend in with my patio. They have matched the color of terracotta. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, this looks all so snazzy and new. All right. We have, oh, my beautiful, my goodness, now I forget her name, which is terrible of me. Oh, I will have to Google that one. I lost her. She was fantastic. I love this orchid. She's got a Plectron Minthus caudatus. That's this one. I overestimated my confidence there. There she is. Difficult for me here with no humidity. Here we have that hybrid of Rhincostylus celestis, which is doing better now, yes. Vanda buckets. Oh, the tub is behind me at this stage. I have this huge 150-gallon tub that I used to soak 3 Vandas in at a time, and they did so well that eventually I couldn't even fit one in anymore, and then they died. Anyway, terrible. And who have we got here? Could be golden peacock. Everything is looking fabulous. Okay, moving on. At least I've sweep here. You can tell.
There.
I keep my blooming alley pristine when everything else is just about to go belly up.
For
the tiny little air plants.
And besides that, I call this my blooming alley.
Yes, for reasons. There is Phalaenopsis popcorn haruri, doing okay on amount, is not appreciating the time of year. Talk about bag baby Vandas trying to get new roots to grow. A little dehydrated, stayed too long at big box store. Ooh. So does your bag baby have any roots at all? Anything that is absorbing anything at all? Because that little, the base, well, the whole orchid could actually be in like a container where you have humidity as a sphagnum moss source at the base, not satin water per se, and then you put a plastic bag over the top of it and just leave a little bit of like holes around the plastic bag for some kind of aeration and maintain super high humidity. All you need to do is just watch the condensation in the bag. You've got roots. That is awesome. Now you just need to up the humidity so that you do not lose the water, that they don't dehydrate through the leaves. Because if the balance of your humidity, if it's too dry with too much airflow, they're losing hydration through the leaves by their transpiration, I believe that it's called. And you need to up the humidity considerably to save the leaves. So if you just put a plastic bag over the top of the entire orchid, make sure that there's plenty of holes around so that condensation does not drop into the crown. Okay, so just make sure that never happens. But the humidity should be like 80-85%. And then every once in a while, soak those little baby roots with a very, very weak solution of calcium, magnesium, and seaweed. Give them that in a soak, in a little bit of a bath. Don't miss them. About maybe 20 minutes. Take them out and just make sure the sphagnum moss stays nice and damp. I hope that makes sense. My Kingianum, that is a Berryoda, Danya. Berryoda does not need a winter rest because at this point in time, the Berryoda is spiking. So my Kingianum is somewhat finished growing, and I wouldn't consider it a winter rest because I do grow in leca and self-watering, but I do make sure that I don't have the reservoir full of water. I have the Kingianum only recently. They're little cakeys. They came from Fernanda, Nothing Meant to Orchids and Succulents, back last year, I believe. So they've been growing on. Awesome. Your leaves are still looking good. All right. You want to keep it that way. Make sure that the humidity is nice and high, and make sure that if their condensation does start in the bag, that you either open it from the Ziploc kind of thing so it doesn't drip into the crown. All right. And keep me posted. I don't care, whatever video shows up wherever. Let me know how it's going. If you see any changes, and if you see a decline, especially, then let me know, okay? So my Kingianum is growing on nicely and has gotten much stronger, and all the little cakeys are now fully rooted into their pot. But as it stopped growing, I have stopped fertilizing. So if you want to consider a Kingianum as a winter rest, no more fertilizer if it's not actively growing. You're welcome, Anita. And on top of that, in my climate, Danya, I'm not sure if Venice goes down to freezing. I was in Venice always in July. I never went when it was cold. I know, the tourist. Ta-da. What do? I will not go to a country that is colder than Spain if I'm leaving Spain in July. Anywho, you can keep it outside. If you're talking about Kingianum, the care, like the Berryoda, is pretty much the same. At least I can vouch for the fact that the two orchids, even the cakeys of a Kingianum that are tiny, small, and should be pampered, you think? Nope. They can take a 5 degrees Celsius, no problem whatsoever. But yeah, I stopped fertilizing. My Berryoda is spiking like totally crazy, totally premature. But then again, I had a rubbish summer too.
I place orchids here that are in bloom.
Here's
and then I can see
Kiku
them from the living room.
recovering very, very slowly.
So I have up here, I'm going to show you the top guns, the big ones. And we will now move on to, before we move on.
Wait, where is she? Distraction.
On that trellis
Squirrel.
is where I am hanging all my Tolumnias once the lights are above 14-15 degrees. So that's where they will go and spend their summer, over there. But let me show you where I put the top guns once the nights are warm enough.
Did nobody hear me? I am so sorry. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Michael is going to have a field trip on this one. I'm sorry I was on mute because of the dogs. Michael is going to have a field trip. Yep. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, iron Can you hear me now? Sorry about that. Every CalMag product has iron in it. It is necessary in order for the two elements to combine. And, okay, Michael, no laughing, okay? You can put violence in the chat if you think that I'm sounding like some pathetic or explanation. Okay, so every CalMag product has iron in it because it brings the two components together. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. The two would be split. So iron is like the magnet that brings calcium and magnesium into one. It binds it, and then you can use it for your orchids. Make it a sense? Huh? They charged you extra for the iron? Wow. That is crazy. Okay, I'm surprised. Huh. If you want to email me your product, I mean, now that you've got it, it's fine. You can use it. But if you want to... Wow. Maybe, okay, well, maybe your product also has a little bit of seaweed in it, because that happens as well. CalMags come with seaweed. That's why it's sometimes got that brown color, but it's such a minute trace that it is actually irrelevant. So don't think that you're using CalMag if your CalMag has seaweed in it. Okay, I don't need to. Okay. Huh. Okay, Michael's got the know-how. Yes, you can. But on a product, you can definitely, but it's not going to work long term. It's like you need to use it immediately. It doesn't, you can't store, if you put calcium and let's say Epsom salts together, how to tell? The label, the back of the label will show you if it's got seaweed in it, and it'll show you a list of ingredients. And if there's one of them that sounds really weird, just Google it. That name is seaweed. And if you, so yes, you can, Danya, you can put calcium and you can put Epsom salts together, but be very careful. I have a video about that, because depending on how you mix it, it's going to turn into sludge. So that's why I always recommend never to put these two together. Always, if you're going to do these applications of supplements, keep them separate unless you buy a product where it's already done for you. So I never use calcium nitrate and Epsom salts at the same time. I know that there are some disputing opinions about that, but if it doesn't happen correctly, then one is going to cancel the other one out. It's just a mess, and then it can turn it to a sludge in the pot as well. Yeah, the rusty brown is the traces of seaweed in the product, but they are so minute. They are not going to make they're not going to make the supplementation of seaweed obsolete. Because if you look at the percentages and then you look at the supplementation and how little parts per million we use of CalMag, and then look at what of that seaweed stuff is in there, it is absolutely, it makes no difference. So it's not like you can stop with seaweed just because you have. No? Okay, take a picture of the label, Julie-san, and then send it to me. Okay, because it may not say the word seaweed, it may say the biological name of the seaweed used in the product. The horticultural name, the botanical name. Okay, thank you for confirming, Danya. But I have a product. My CalMag has seaweed in it. I do not know the name off by heart. But if you just take a picture of the label, if that's not too much trouble, send it to me, my email, and I'll have a look and I'll see if I can find that kind. Because if it's rusty, more often than not, there's traces. But they honestly, they are so minute, they make absolutely no difference. You cannot overdose on seaweed if you do CalMag and then add seaweed. I do it all the time. My CalMag has seaweed in it, and when I put 100 parts per million into a 10-liter bucket, or it's into an 8-liter bucket, or 10 gallons, the color of my water doesn't even change. That it makes absolutely no difference. But they put it in there. Je ne sais quoi. Why? I don't know. Don't want to cut anybody off. If anybody wants to come up and discuss this further, I'm very, very happy to do so. Nope. Okay, Joshi says no. Nope, or no to what? Your opinion matters. Do you want to come up and talk about it? I'm going to wait. The dead air is there because I'm waiting for the lag before. You want to come up? Awesome. Come on up. There we go. You grab the link, monsieur. Make sure that you turn, I don't know how you're watching YouTube, but please turn the volume down. Otherwise, we're going to have an echo and nobody's going to hear a thing. It's going to be a horrible noise at the other end. And if you want to turn your camera off, you can also do that. Waiting for Joshi. Drum roll. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a short interruption. We have a guest. Eventually. I'm waiting for Mr. Joshi from Orchids by the Lake to come on up. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Are there any difficulties with coming up, or did I misunderstand something? Thank you. Joshi, talk to me, please. Sorry about that noise. Have we lost Joshi completely? Otherwise, I'll continue with the video while we do that. Okay, I'm looking at the label. I'm not gonna get distracted about it now. If Joshi comes up, we can look at it together. Anyway, we'll continue with the video until Monsieur Joshi comes up. Whoops, wrong one. Wrong window. There we go. Let's continue.
Before we get to where the Top Guns live and the high light and hot growers go, I'm just going to show you the full size of
Thank you, Michael.
Orchid real estate here, where I hang the Denisonianas.
Look at these tiny little vandas. I appreciate that, Michael. Thank you. Look at these tiny little vandas. Yep, they all fitted into the tub at once. Oh, and there's my Phalaenopsis mitrata right down here. She gone, she gone, gone, she gone. Oh, oh, look here, Encyclia Garciana alba still on a mount, still tiny.
And where the
There's a Phalaenopsis,
etc. live.
Look at this.
Mitrata.
It looks like a little Medusa one. This is 2 years of growth. Look at her. No wonder I put other orchids on there. Come on, give me a break when I know I've got struggles with Ceratalabium and Ceraula. Look at this. You would put 2 orchids on there as well, wouldn't you? No? Come on. Isn't that so cute? Tiny baby. Yes. Oh, a while ago. Objected to my dry air, super sensitive on the root growth, wanted to grow roots like an orchid possessed, was growing beautiful roots. They would get, like 10 centimeters long. Then they would stop growing because suddenly there wasn't enough humidity. I had a lengthy tub for her to lie down in. So curved, the roots were sensitive. The minute the root tip touched something, it would also stop growing. So I put her into semi-hydro, actually the self-watering setup. I knew I was going to lose the long roots. It just hated everything. I couldn't make it work. What a gorgeous orchid though. Oh, love it. But she was never replaced. I never tried her again because I knew.
Right. They live there all the time.
I just knew. It was this big mistake.
Here,
see my thumb?
The orchid jacuzzi.
Yeah, orchid jacuzzi. Look at that thing. That thing would gobble up RO water like there is no tomorrow because I was cleaning it at least twice a week. That was when the systems were all ago. And why is that cable there? I forget. There's a reason why that cable is there. I think my daughter needed it for the refrigerator for a barbecue. I think that was it. Yeah, you know what? Me too. Look, Julie-san, I can understand a lot of things. I just don't use the technical words. So it sounds really, really pathetic and an amateur attempt. But sometimes I get my point across anyway. But, you know, then you've got someone as knowledgeable as Michael, and it's like, thank you, you saved me this embarrassment. Oh, what a relief. I will talk to you with building blocks, and I now have a digital whiteboard, so we will be drawing pictures if I have to. Yeah, right at the beginning of the stream, I was entertaining anybody that was coming in. I was like showing off my new digital whiteboard. We are going places. Replying to, I couldn't hear earlier. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, Joshi. I hear you. Gotcha. Anyway.
Jacuzzi.
There, jacuzzi.
Where currently I've got lavender mist.
Look at this dead plant over there. I had no shame, hey? I had no shame. Wow.
And this is the real estate for the orchids.
My favorite place.
And
favorite place.
Coming 6 to 8 months, where this is east facing and it gets full blast morning sun until around 2-3 o'clock.
Look at my little maxillaria tenifolia.
And it is hot here. I mean, seriously.
This is my favorite place.
And then I cover them with what is a shower curtain.
Yes.
Only just open that curtain when I have to get at them.
If I didn't have orchids, I would have two places for a hot tub. One would be this corner because I need it in the morning, and the other one would be the deep south because I need it in the afternoon.
For watering, etc. purposes.
This is just my favorite spot.
This is the hottest corner.
And that bougainvillea's got to go. That bougainvillea has to go.
100-liter.
I have chopped that bougainvillea down so much, so often. It's nothing but sticks in the ground now. That thing gets angrier every single time I attack it. Every single time. Oof! It's a beautiful bougainvillea, don't get me wrong. And I love my bougainvilleas. And I can tell you that bougainvillea should never have been planted there because it is one of the giant varieties, not a miniature one. Yeah, and wouldn't the dogs be affected? You see, that's my corner for a big limestone, and then a Dendrobium speciosum should go right there, big one. And I should have done that 5 years ago when I had the idea, because we would be 5 years further down the line to getting something like that to bloom. But back then they were all tiny. I wonder about the kerosene. But you know what? Now, when the gardener comes to do his winter prep for the patio, yes, you can. You can, Joshi. That's what this is all about. Absolutely. Okay, let me know if you want to come up, because I can drop you another link and you click on the link. And the only thing you do is you make sure that wherever device you're watching YouTube on, that you mute that. No sound. You won't hear me talking until you come up on panel, and you keep your camera off if you don't want to have the camera on. I don't care either way, but make sure that YouTube is muted. Okay? I'm going to put a link in the description. Oh, I'm going to have to change my verbiage. I'm going to put a link here into the chat right there. And you can click on that link and then you can come up. And you won't be on the stream until I toggle over. So if you're not comfortable with something, you can still switch your camera off. Arachnis anamensis. Well, happy pre-birthday to you, Anna Reiter. And welcome, herzlich willkommen. And what a great orchid to buy. Simply, I mean, your name, hello. That's an obvious one, match made in heaven, no? Fantastic. So I'm going to continue on and I'll wait and see if Joshi knocks on my door back here. Where is my window of opportunity? Right here.
Tub there of reserve RO water, which I always keep full for eventualities, and I use for flushing, or when I make up my mix of silicone, because in the summer I soak them with silicone while they're growing. And then over here, just a little add-on.
We still do that.
Is Siciliano's Jungle Gym.
Yeah, and look how clean it is.
Everything gets closed off.
Before YouTube, I had all this time.
Suffocating inside. We've enclosed this window over here, and inside.
Look how clean it is. Now I just clean his jungle gym and let the birds take care of the rest.
And this is where the biggest of my orchids go.
Yeah. Look at Maxillaria there. Small little one. That pot is now bulging.
Down there you see right now a Maxillaria. I don't know what, it was sold to me as a tenuifolia, but it's not.
It is!
And it's just been repotted.
It is!
And that's where it lives as well, so I thought
confirmed, it is a tenuifolia. It's a different variety though, the more compact and slow-growing variety.
No more, maybe 10 days.
Bloomed for the first time with one bloom in 2021.
This rack will be filled up with the Top Guns.
Yes, fast forward April 2023.
Absolutely love to enclose this area because look,
I still want to do that.
I have an overhang.
Yes, I know. I still want to do that.
To close this off.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of the bougainvillea over there because, you know, priorities.
Yeah.
And make this a place.
But at least now I have 2 hooks
over the winter.
That helps a lot.
We could get our dining room back.
Yeah.
But it's not my house.
Not happening.
So
we never get our dining room back unless I move out with the kiddos.
So that's a little bit of an insight.
Look at Tortilla on a mount.
Orchid real estate.
That was before she was divided. And again, sorry.
We've been taken over.
Here we have an OG.
Oh, but there is always room for one more.
Yeah, not anymore. Ooh, let's go this way. Here we go.
Say I've been taken over.
Sunrays. There we go. There she is, my orange nugget. That's just a shame. Yeah, never mind. And Roy Tokanaga there to the left. Arachnis get huge. They're 3 feet. Isn't that something that Todd's Tropicals also has? They're gorgeous though. They're gorgeous though. We may need to send a welfare check in 2 or 3 years to Anna Reiter. She'll have a Jumanji style plant.
Been taken over. Oh, but there is always room for one more.
No, we have contained ourselves and we have moved on to tinier orchids.
There's a way.
Tiny orchids.
I hope this was of interest to you.
And that last saying doesn't apply anymore either. The where there's a will, there's a way. Not really. Not really. Yes. Yeah, that's just amazing. There is no such thing as where there's a will, there's a way. I think that Cooties has taught us a massive lessons with some of the things that have been happening. I like to see how other
people grow theirs and get an idea about the environment.
And here we are. And here we are on a live stream. Fast forward 2 years. And hopefully more people will come up and join the stream.
Thank you very much for watching. I really, really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I'll see you next time.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Oh my goodness graciousness me. I flush every single time my reservoir is empty before I put anything else into the pot, including plain water. So if I move and jiggle a pot around and it feels light, if there was fertilizer in it before, I flush that pot through 2 times, whatever the mask holds, twice with plain water. And then if the orchid is in active growth, I put fertilizer in, or calcium and magnesium, whatever it is, and then fill the reservoir up with that. So it's like, if the orchid is in active growth and she is drinking up a lot, I could be flushing 2 times a week that orchid. But then other orchids, I may not be flushing for 10 or 14 days because they are in resting mode. And all I'm doing is keeping the microfiber damp. So the flushing is pretty much personal, and it sounds like a lot of work, but it's not really if you do it with every pot prior to actually putting more fertilizer in. Now, if you are in bark or any kind of organic medium, then a flush with sphagnum moss would be best done with a soak as opposed to pouring water through. That's not going to really work because of the makeup of the sphagnum moss. And if it's bark, then of course, in my opinion, it should happen, I would say, if not on the same day, but the next day, the media should be flushed before the pot really dries out. I don't know if that makes sense. That's what I used to do when I was growing in bark, just to make sure. Okay, Joshi, I see you. Okay, thank you. Maybe next time. But if you're growing in bark, then I would never let the media dry out after fertilizing before I flush the pot again. I was just never comfortable with letting those pots dry out. Schaf? Du bist ein Schaf. One of my favorite sheep. Okay, so we've done that. Now, what I'm going to do is make sure that we don't have this funny thing in the middle of the screen, avec le bouble, or I can show you, for those of you that weren't here at the beginning, my new little party trick. Oop, if I can get my act together, and just show you that if we need to do any kind of drawing, have a little bit of fun, then we do this. Hello. Should we ever need to put 2 and 2 together and say that 2 plus 2 equals 5? We can do that. What do you think? Huh? Did I not tell you we are going places, and I am serious about this? Hey, there she is. This is Alexandra Bossett in the house, hopefully. Okay, Anna, vielen Dank, dass du hier warst. Das lieb von dir. Thank you so much. Hasta mañana. Espero que schlaf gut. And then, of course, if we've made a mistake, because, I'm still rubbish at drawing with a mouse, we can erase all this stuff. We can't erase the logo, but I can still get rid of it. Baba, say hi to Julie. She brought us all the goodies, all those treats. Julie's son is in the chat. She is in Australia. She's having her Sunday morning coffee. So how about this then? Hey, a whiteboard. I just thought it would be nice that eventually we can have ourselves a little bit more of, sophistication nation, something like that anyway. Got to keep it interesting, got to keep it nice. And just keep it getting better and better at these things, in my opinion. So, there you go. Look at me. I'm like a pro. Maybe she's driving, Julie's son. If she can't respond to you, maybe she's busy doing something. She's on her way. Baba, can you please say hi to Julie's son? Please, 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 pretty please. I don't know how busy you are, but just, she's here in the chat and my goodness, we stuffed our faces because of Julie's son. And it was delish. Okay, does anybody want to come up? Anybody at all? Just asking for a friend? Joke. Because if not, I'm going to love and leave you. And I am not going to go live tomorrow at 2:30 a.m. because I was pushing the go live 2 hours every single day to see who could come in. But I feel that feedback wise, it's not such a bad idea to go at 12:30 my time. So that's 12:30 past midnight. And like I did today, and 10:30. I think Michael said the 8:30 was not feasible. I'm not entirely sure if that's true or not. But if you've made it this far, my sheep, oh, they're going to get evacuated. Probably about at 4 o'clock in the morning, they'll get evacuated. If you've watched this far and you are watching on replay, I need to hear from you. If you couldn't make it because of the time, maybe I should put another ticker at the bottom eventually and say, if you're watching on replay, I need feedback. I do. And the comments are there for a reason, even on a live stream after a live stream has published. By the way, also, Michael, goodness me, this could take up to 10 hours. I mean, now that you're here in the chat, it won't make any difference. You're here. But considering this, when I woke up this morning and my video wasn't even processed yet, I was really upset. So yeah, that bothers me. It absolutely, both of us, totally. That's the wrong. It's just I can't wear it for filming, Julie son, because what if all that wind that I had would awkward. Yeah. No, but it's not about, of course I want you around. And it's not about people having to come all the time just because I'm going live. I'm happy sitting here yapping away about orchids. It's what I do. But yeah, but 8:30 is great, but it didn't, never mind. I think 10:30 is better and 12:30 is better as well. 10:30 is probably cutting it close for Australia, and then here we are. Julie's son came and made it on a Sunday, so maybe Friday evenings do 12:30 at midnight. Excuse me, I'm going to take a sip of water. Yeah, I did my Google searchings. What time is it in there? And it's in over here. So Fridays could be late nights, Saturdays could be late nights, and the other times I go live could be 10:30, something like that. We'll figure something out. But I want to say thank you so very much for being here. And I also want to always extend the invitation that this is not about me talking. This is the voice that your voices, that you're always, always welcome to come up and do the talking and show and tell. Well, I hope it was a wonderful evening, Anna. I hope so. There's no better place to be than be a bit tipsy on a Saturday night. Seriously. I can't think of anything better, especially with all the Christmas goodies that are happening now in Austria. Oh my goodness, my heart. Don't get me started. My lucky number. What can I say? 4 is my number all the time and every time. You did well. You did well. You're here. Your English is better than mine. Oh my goodness. Yeah, indeed. We just need to stop this. We need to stop with this time zone, daylight saving hours. I don't get it. Anyway, appreciate you. Hand hearts to all of you. Thank you so much. Have a great Sunday. Have a great Saturday evening. I appreciate your support. Whatever you do today, just make sure that you stay safe, okay? Take care. Bye. Bye, Danya. I appreciate that you were here. Bella Venezia.